Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome to Construct Your Life. This is Austin Linney here. I have the pleasure of having Mr. Kyler Peters here. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me on.
You got it, my man. So Kyler's a good personal friend of mine. He's had a kind of crazy ride the last 9 months. We're going to dig into all that stuff, but why don't you give him a little backstory on where you came from and who you are, and we'll go from there.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, I was born and raised in Oklahoma City. Lived there for the first 24 years of my life. So once Dad got working with Dell, he moved down to Round Rock, and that was pretty much my opening of saying, hey, come on down, take this journey with me, and let's see what happens. So that's pretty much when I took my shot, got out of my comfort zone a little bit, came down here and failed miserably for the first probably 3 years or so. But like you said, the last kind of 9 months have been just a ride, man. It's been crazy about what's happening, the people I've met, the things I've done, and really just kind of looking to build on that. So just to walk it back, I won't give you guys the whole backstory, but pretty much in the hospitality industry, sales, I've done everything under the sun, from selling solar energy to bartending to serving, anything you could possibly think of, I've probably done it. So basically, so the last 9 months I was bartending for a little bit out at Omni and Barton Creek down here in Austin. It's kind of like a country club. Met a lot of good people, kind of saw these guys were all millionaires, like all multi-millionaires most likely. So just to get to be around that for like probably one of the first times in my life, really opened my eyes. I mean, from Oklahoma City, there's people with money, but there's a lot more people without money. So really just kind of dove into like how these people worked, what their demeanors were, what their thoughts were on particular subjects, and really just asking questions and trying to learn more. So fast forward just about 9 months ago, back in December, I reached out. I was looking for a new job. I was serving and bartending and all that stuff it was not in the cards. It was not my future. So I knew I was severely underutilizing my potential, but I had good people skills. So that was really what drove me to reach out and say, hey, who can I help? How can I help? And what can I do to better your business? So I actually started out wholesaling on my own for a little bit, failed miserably again, probably 9 months before I got a deal. First, not anything to write home about. It was $4,000, but it was my proof of concept. So it was really just kind of, hey, this works. I worked my ass off to do it. I know you need a team to do this properly. So that was when I was like, okay. And I was studying, I'm going to name drop here, but I was studying Steve Trang. I was studying Max Maxwell, Pace Morby, all those guys that are big in the wholesaling space. And that's where I actually saw Nick Perry on one of Steve Trang's podcasts. And he said he lived in Austin. I was like, holy shit, because we can cuss on here. So he's in Austin. I got to meet this guy. So I cold Facebook messaged him and said, hey, are you guys hiring? I'm great with sales. I'm great with people. I'm great over the phone, whatever. I'll do whatever it takes pretty much to come join your team, or at least get an interview. So fast forward to that, came in, got the interview. They put you on a phone test right on the spot. So it was no BSing. Like, you had to bring it, or they're going to call you out and say, hey, thanks for coming in. See you later. So I crushed it. I fucking just went full force in it, because I knew this was like, it kind of felt like Amazon in the garage type stuff. It was really just like, wow, these guys are hustlers. They want more for their lives. Like, these are the kind of people I've been looking for and the kind of people I want to be around. So that was when I was just like full force, showing up early, staying late, just giving it my all, and just making hundreds of calls a day. And of course, these are warm leads, so we weren't cold calling necessarily. So we just had thousands and thousands of lead in our books, and I was pretty much hitting the dead stuff. I was a new guy, so I was hitting the old stuff. And fast forward 9 months later, I've got multiple hundreds of contracts signed all over the phone. I've never seen any of these properties in person. And this year I will definitely be clearing $1 million in closed assignment fees for the company. So that's a huge win, and I'm just looking to build off of that.
Yeah, and there's a lot to unpack there, and you've had a crazy rise in the last couple of months. I think I want to start back at Barton Creek, and they say if you have 4 friends that are a millionaire, you'll be the 5th soon enough. And people don't put enough emphasis on proximity to just modeling your life out of greatness, right? And and we're not like, of course there's arrogant people out there. That's not what I'm saying, but there's a way that they conduct themselves. There's a way that they speak. There's a reverence in their voice, right? And I'm sure that's what you noticed as a bartender or server out there. These people that have money and are traveled, right? And I think you pick up things, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of them, their stories, I was more interested in their stories rather than how they got their money. So I think a person's story tells everything. So a lot of them didn't come from money. A lot of them started out in a small Texas town. They've made a couple of the right partners, made the right connections, invested in the right deals at the right time. But really, I mean, they just showed me that it's like, you don't have to come from money, or you don't have to have a rich background to do these things. So they really just took a bunch of action, and they probably failed a lot, just like many other successful people have. And that was really just what stuck out to me. Was these people learned from their failures. They didn't let their failures define them, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And so you do that, and then what gave you the courage to cold message? Because me and you had dinner last night. We were talking about this. What gave you the courage to send that message and not be scared to send it?
You know what? It's kind of like what Tony Robbins says. I mean, the change is either caused by the positive reinforcements, or change is caused by negative reinforcement when your back is up against the wall. So when you're stuck in a job, and you're learning a lot mentally, but financially it's just not serving you, and you're basically stuck in the rat race, you start looking for change. And I knew I think it came from, I knew what I was good at. I knew what I wanted to do. And I kind of had that vision of like, I want to be in real estate. I want to be a real estate investor in Austin. And it started out in Austin, but I think it was really just saying, hey, my back's against the wall. I'm going to reach out to this guy. And basically I was just trying to add value. I didn't expect a job. I really didn't. I was just, hey, how can I help you and your company? You guys ever need someone that's experienced on the phone? I've done phone sales. I just kind of basically pitched myself. Mm-hmm. And that was really what stuck out to him. He kind of like, he said that the fact that I would do whatever it takes is what stuck out to them. So they were kind enough to give me a shot, and I was not going to not capitalize on that chance. So
we as people make up stories in our mind of what is going to happen before we've even created the event. And, a lot of people would have took that message and rewrote it 6 times and thought about it for a week, instead of just saying, what if? And the what if is so fucking powerful, right? That you never know. And it's the same thing when people DM me and I heard the podcast. Okay, great. Let's go have lunch. Whoa, hold on. What? And I'm like, yeah, but like, I was talking to somebody today, and I don't think people put enough value in this. Gary Vee said this, like, you don't know at 22 years old, that dude might be the next Mark Zuckerberg in 10 years. You don't know. So treat every relationship like it's the best one you ever been in front of, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then that's the thing, is you can't always look at what you're going to get out of it. You can't go look at like, well, I'm going to go spend money on coffee meeting this guy. What am I going to get out of it? Like you think on such a small scale, and I think humans' advantage to everything else in our environment is the ability to see the future, is the ability to think forward and not just have to be stuck in the present. So I think a lot of people just get stuck in the present moment, thinking about we live in a world of instant gratification, and we need positive reinforcement all the time instead of just going through shit basically for a little while and still keeping your eye on the prize, essentially.
100%. And you're what you are is as Matt Tefke would say, you're throwing lines in the water and you don't know which one it's going to catch. But by not having your pipeline full, you obviously not going to get. But I was talking to him also this morning, another guy, Austin Hartley from Denver. When you walk in with an optimistic mindset, the universe is going to reward you if you're walking in with the possibility of the opportunity, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you show up, they put you on the firing squad. You ever see the movie Swordfish?
I have, yeah.
When he walks in and he has to put the code in, and that girl,
Yeah,
whatever. I don't want to make it graphic, but that's what it was. They put you in the firing squad. You nailed it. So you start off doing the cold leads, right?
Yeah.
What happened next?
So, I mean, it was basically, I mean, there was not a whole lot of structure and order. It was basically, hey, put in this many calls a day. I think it was like 60 or something at the time. You're required to get at least 3 contracts a week. I think I started on a Wednesday, and because we did training Monday and Tuesday or whatever, but we started on a Wednesday, and by Friday I had my first contract in Illinois. So that was like kind of the hey, you better put up or shut up kind of thing. So I came in and showed them like, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing yet, but I'm going to make it work. So
I want you to talk on something, because too many people focus on the dollar amount you made when they don't understand that the proof of concept carries more weight than gold, right? So talk on that for a minute.
Yeah. So, I mean, the proof of concept when I was on my own wholesaling, well, I mean, I needed it. It was like, I can't put in this much time and this much effort and not see anything back. And it's kind of like that story that they talk about where the gold miner's 3 inches from gold and he gives up. So I feel like if you're going to put that much work into something, you better keep fucking going until you see some kind of reward, some kind of positive like click where you're like, that's it. That's what I'm going to build on. So, I mean, baseball, you can go strike out 7 times, but as long as you touch the ball and get on base, I mean, 3 times out of those 10, you're a winner. You're a fucking pro. So I think it's really about just taking that and saying, all right, how can I build off of this win? It may not have been a big win, but how can I take this further? And from getting that first contract the first week, that was also my proof of concept to come back the next week and say, okay, they want 60 calls a day. Why not 120? Like at the time, I think I was studying Grant Cardone doing the 10X thing. So it's kind of like, why not just over exaggerate on everything I do and just see what comes out of it?
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. So you start on Wednesday, you get the first contract on Friday, and then what happened from there?
I mean, it's basically a downhill run from there. So I think, I mean, it's basically you just show up every day. I just essentially develop my own systems and processes. A lot of people that were on the team at the time were just making phone calls, leaving voicemails. I said, okay, well, I'm going to leave a phone call, a voicemail, a text message. I mean, I'm going to hit them on all fronts, because we live in a day and age where it's like, this is a customer facing business. Like whether we know it or not, and in real estate, you're hospitality. I mean, you're for the customer. Without the customer, there's no you. So you really put yourself in the mind of a customer. As a person, like me personally, I don't like talking on the phone. I'll text it out all day, but I don't care to pick up my phone. So if I got a company calling me 5 times a week, I'm probably going to respond to the company that texts me. I mean, so that was what I was kind of looking for, what people weren't doing, and how could I capitalize on that and go do that for the customer. So you want to email me out, like I'll email all day until I get the deal. I don't care.
And just so everybody understands, they might have not caught that in the early code. You're not just buying property in Austin. You are buying property across the United States, which I would imagine, like, walk us through that, because somebody's thinking like, holy shit, like, what are these guys doing? So walk us through how you have somebody in the area. Okay. Well, I mean, like, what the hell is going on over there? right? Because
Yeah, man.
this is counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, it is,
But
man. Like,
I will say, guys, they did $257,000 in transactions last week, so it's working. So
right.
yeah,
It
so
works.
talk me through that.
Absolutely. So we're heavy on pay per click and search engine optimization. So luckily enough, they had the systems in play. We get warm inbound leads, so people have to come to our website. They fill out their information, request a cash offer. I'm pretty much the front lines. I'm the one you're going to talk to first whenever you put in your request for a cash offer. So I'm not going to explain wholesaling because I feel like this call is a little bit more advanced than that. We'll do
Sure.
that another time if we need to. But essentially, I would be on the phone with you. We'll go over conditions of your property, just kind of get a sense of what it needs, what repairs, yada yada yada, and then I'll go pull all the comps. We use, I'm going to name drop PropStream. We definitely use a lot of like Zillow sold comps. I can get a really good sense in any market in the country what your property is worth based on what is sold and what's currently active on the market and how much attention it's getting. So once we make you an offer, essentially, we rely heavily on our massive buyers list. So they've done, I mean, it's kind of a data company at this point. So over the last 4 years, they've essentially collected buyers from all across the country. And even in markets that we don't have buyers, we're heavy on utilizing real estate agents. So a lot of the times, wholesalers and real estate agents kind of get a sour taste. There's like some invisible war going on between those guys. And the realtors that do work with wholesalers, not only are they getting the commission on the front from bringing us their cash buyers, they're also probably, if it's a flip, they're also probably going to be the listing agent on that same exact property. So not only is your buyer doing more transactions as a realtor, you're working with these wholesalers and saying, hey, you got that property under contract. I got a buyer that would be interested in it. So basically coordinating everything virtually. You have to do a lot of finessing because photos, I mean, pictures tell 1,000 words versus me just writing a description. So we utilize the sellers and pretty much work with them and say, hey, I'm positive I can get you a better offer if I have some photos of your property. You think you can do that for me? Boom. So now I got an inside look at what condition your property's in, what we need to do to it to get it up to the market comps, and then we make the same pitch to our investors and our buyers. So we'll have them go out. We have a dispositions team that coordinates everything. They're transaction coordinators. We don't have any transaction coordinators right now. So they'll coordinate the whole deal. They'll work with the realtors, work with the buyers, work with the sellers, getting everyone in the same place at the same time. And pretty much just we try not to shop around. We don't just like blast deals out. We don't do that anymore. We try to work with maybe 1 to 2 qualified buyers, so we don't have any of this like backdoor stuff that people like to do. We try to keep it minimal, and it's easier on the sellers too. You're not going to have a wholesaler that's got a group of 10 people coming out to your property. It might be 1, 2, 3 trips out there max. So
and I think that's key is that people want to make everything so complicated. And if you really break it down to proper communication, keeping the net, meaning the amount of hands on the deal as low as possible, meaning we're operating with a couple sellers, you can really move the needle and not have so much wishy-washy. But what I also think, I would just venture to guess because I don't know much about your business, y'all are happy to take the profit and move on to the next one and not shop it around and try to make that extra $5,000, right? Because speed is really what you're after, correct?
absolutely, yeah. We're promising these sellers 30 days or less, and half the time it doesn't even take that long. It's probably 2 to 3 weeks max. So we don't waste any time. We're not barterers. This is not a negotiation. It is what it is. Bring your best and final. And if we can do it, absolutely, we're going to move forward with that ASAP. Because the way our model's set up, once I get a property under contract, that's pretty much it for me. My disposition team is awesome. I put them up against anybody. So they take it from there, and they take the steering wheel. And I'm already focusing on the next deal. I'm trying to get another contract while they're taking care of my sellers after that. So.
And And what I want to fight back against is, what do you tell people that say that wholesalers are pieces of shit and they're taking advantage of these sellers and so on and so on? What do you say to that?
I think it is really a supply and demand thing. I don't ever go into a property thinking about price. I don't ever go look into, all right, how can I beat this seller up over a price? I'm essentially, I'm a professional listener. That's what I am. I listen to your problems. You can talk to me as a friend, as anybody. Like, I'm going to listen to your problems and I'm going to find the best solution that fits your needs. You're going through divorce, you need to get done quick. Great, I can help you out. You need to find a place to live. Great, I can put you in touch with some of the best real estate agents, and you'll have the peace of mind knowing your property's sold.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, another example is just you need time in the property after closing. You need a couple of weeks, a 14-day lease back with the money in hand, so you can pay for moving and pay your down payment on the new place. Like, I got you. A lot of realtors, they can't provide those things, and people think that selling a property through a real estate agent is the only way to go. And it's just, I mean, a lot of times that doesn't fit. It just, the model, the timeline. A lot of people don't want to clean up their house and have a bunch of strangers walking through every weekend and being on call, essentially. I mean, a realtor could call you at 6 p.m. and say, hey, I got a person who wants to come through. Get ready. And you're pretty much at the mercy. So we work around the seller's schedule. We try to make it as convenient and as streamlined as possible, because these people are going through a lot already. They're already going through trouble or whatever to even reach out to us and request a cash offer. So we always focus on the seller and just say, how can we solve their problems and still make sense as an investment at the same time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Big picture, long game thinking.
Absolutely.
So we'll get off that and we'll move into, how old are you?
28.
28.
Just turned 28 in September.
Just turned 28. We hang around a lot of people. There's a lot of people that may be doing great in business, but what I commend with you, and just so everybody knows, he's one of my coaching clients, but just I commend you for the investment. And I say that I want to highlight that word, because we bastardize what an investment is. You highlight, you really do invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. And, we'll talk about personal development here for a little bit and kind of your morning routine and stuff. Mm-hmm. Where did that start? When did it click for you that was kind of the thing to take your life to the next level? And you're really trying to build out a whole life, not just about how much money you have.
Right. And I think it really just turns around to the kind of person you want to be. I mean, you can see someone who's extremely wealthy, but is extremely unhealthy at the same time, and just say, I mean, is that really who I want to be? I mean, I want to be a person that can make all the money in the world, but really not take care of myself? And I mean, I want to be here as long as possible. I want to be on this earth to help as many people, my family included. So I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of my mind. I got to take care of my body. I got to take care of other people around me. So I think I stopped focusing on, just like I said, instant gratification, really. I mean, sleeping in is great. Everybody loves it, but it's not going to better you. I mean, you're going to be late to work. You're going to be tired. You're not going to be well dressed when you come in. You just don't have time for it. So when you're intentional about what you want to do and how you want to do it, I think you kind of reverse engineer and say, okay, what do I see about all of these people who are doing exactly what I want to do, and what kind of commonalities do they have? I guarantee you they all wake up early at the same time. They're all making their beds. They're all writing their goals and affirmations down. And they're all probably taking care of their bodies and having a decently healthy diet. So we're not perfect. No one's asking you to be perfect, but at the same time, you want to have more good habits than you have bad habits, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And I think I haven't ever asked you this, so I'd be interested to know your question. Mm-hmm. Dude, at 28, people are getting married. They're out on the boat partying and at the bar every night, and is there any part of you that misses, and you still go out and you still have fun, but not on a regular basis like other people do?
Right.
what are you like to the people that are listening that say like, I want to go out and have fun? What do you tell them like about how you look at life and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think having fun is definitely necessary. I mean, I don't think you I think you can have just as much fun going on a hike and going out and working out. I think you can have as much fun going and playing basketball with your buddies as you can going out and drinking with your buddies. I mean, I have as much fun going to dinner with people like you that as I do like going out to the club or whatever. So I think we need to kind of redefine our definition of fun because when I go out and have fun on the weekends and then I wake up Saturday morning, it's not fun anymore. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you're not in a good space, and then you waste precious hours of your life. And it's saying, is this really fun? Was that sacrifice worth it? I mean, you make all this money, you work so hard just to go blow it, or do you want to use this money wisely, kind of eat shit for 3 to 5 years, put it back into yourself and into your business where your money starts going to work for you and you don't have to worry about showing up for work every day. You can go kind of do what you want to do because you made those sacrifices.
100%. And I think what I want you to do for the next couple minutes is any young kid, I want you to step in to your body and I want you to talk to Kyler 9 months ago, who was feeling despair, who was stuck in a job he hates, all that stuff. I want you to give the advice that you would give that human if somebody's trying to make a shift in their life, a change, they're in a toxic relationship, they're in a work environment. What would you tell that guy now that you know what you know after you've locked in that many contracts and that much money?
Right. I say one step at a time, baby. I mean, one step at a time. Like get out of the I got to do everything all at once mentality and just really kind of audit your life. Take inventory of what is bringing you joy and what is not bringing you joy, and take inventory of the things that are pulling you closer to your goals. If you even have goals, I say the number one thing is have a vision, have something to reach for in the first place before you even get started. So really take inventory of what you want your life to look like in 5 to 10 years from now, and then reverse engineer it and say, all right, step one, here's what I'm going to do to get me closer to that. Step two, here's what I'm going to not do that's preventing me from getting closer to that. And just really start making little tiny habits that are going to be sticking with you probably for the rest of your life. So whether that's going to the gym, whether that's going and watching as many informative YouTube videos as you can, I would say get rid of the things that don't add value to your life. I mean, watching Netflix for hours on end, unless it's like a documentary or something that you're actually learning something, is a waste of your time. Playing video games, waste of your time. Like I think if you like start focusing on the things that are going to bring you value later in life, and really just say, all right, I'm done. I'm done with that. I had my fun. I'm ready to start taking things seriously. So until you make that decision that you're ready to take life seriously and that this isn't a game. I mean, no one's coming to save you essentially. So it, I mean, a lot of people spend time, and this is going to be kind of like maybe a deep subject, but a lot of people spend time working on other people in their life, trying to make other people better, and it's really just so they don't have to work on themselves. I think it's really just kind of a distraction, saying that, hey, I'm going to spend all my time helping this person get where they want to go, and then you kind of lose track of yourself. And if you can do that for other people, why can't you do it for yourself?
Dude, that's epic. That is epic because we do spend our time, you know, diving into a relationship that doesn't serve us, right? And here's the thing about relationships as a young man who's out there in the world. There's a lot of signs early on in a relationship that we as guys especially just dismiss. Oh, well, it's not a big deal. And I would imagine when you agree that those signs keep showing up over and over again.
Oh, absolutely. They don't go away. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the best advice that I can give a human being in this world is work on yourself. Because if you work on yourself and you put the work in with yourself, it's going to radiate in every part of your work, your relationship with your parents, your sister, your relationship with your girlfriend. We have got this all backwards in society. We need this and that. What I want to talk about while we wrap this up is I want you to really explain, because you've seen the power of it. And I'm not saying you're getting all this $1 million, but I want you to explain to my younger crowd how quick you can change your life around with wholesaling. And it really doesn't cost that much money.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're anyone who wants to get into real estate, I would even recommend like, and I'm going to hold myself accountable and put this out there. I'm going to do a video on this pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Should you be a wholesaler or should you be a real estate agent?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the less barrier to entry, no brainer, wholesaling all day. You don't need a real estate license to go start wholesaling tomorrow. You can pick this up right now and you can put it into action. So, if any of you guys need advice on how to get started, please feel free to reach out. I'm always willing to help. But yeah, you can change your life. I mean, you're one deal away from changing your life. I think Max Maxwell said that.
Yeah.
You're one deal away from
Dude, I gotta stop you. True story. Yep. I had lunch with a title attorney the other day. Mm-hmm. He said he met this girl. He gave her like one piece of advice. She learned how to wholesale on YouTube. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
First deal, $75K. Wait for it. Second deal, $75K.
What the?
She made $150K in 1 month of wholesaling. It happens.
It does. It absolutely does. And you don't have to be a professional at it. There's plenty of people out there, myself included, that'll walk you through the process. I mean, don't think that you have to JV with someone right away just because you don't know what you're doing. If you don't have a network that you can rely on, which is crucial, I think, in any kind of business, build your network right now, start on it, and never stop working on it. So you have those people to reach out and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting this property under contract, or even I have this property under contract. What do you think? So I would say take more action. Just take more action.
Or fucking type on YouTube. I mean, everything I think you could have open heart surgery if you had YouTube. I think you could be like, I'm going to get in there. We're going to be all right.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but let's go deeper. Let's go down. Yeah. Why are people not typing in YouTube?
Man, I can't answer. I can't speak for other people. I can't say.
I can. Why have I offered 30 minutes of free coaching 17 times and one person's taken me up on it?
It's either the fact that they don't believe in themselves that they can actually do something on this level, or they just don't care enough to stop what they're doing.
Because I heard something. I gotta say this. I saw this. My friend sent me this. This is a game changer. She said, it said, a lot of people pray for rain and then complain about the mud.
Yeah, essentially.
And so we have to stop. I talked to a guy today who had a drug problem and he's better now. He said that it wasn't until he took ownership of his shit, everything that has got you to where you're sitting currently, where you are right now, and the job that you hate and the relationship that doesn't serve you, you made a fucking choice to be there. Nobody else, not your mom, not the fucking weather, not the president. So you need to pull your head out of your ass, call somebody like me or Kyler, or just be around better people that don't allow you to keep doing the same shit that you've done over and over again, because it's going to get you the same damn results. It drives me bonkers. And you know what? Go ahead. Yeah.
No, people forget that they did what they did to get where they are. So basically, I mean, people are just like, you can look at a person who's trying to lose some weight and it's like, I just can't seem to do it. Well, yeah, it's probably because you ate like shit for the past 3 days. So it's not that you don't know how to lose the weight. It's that you just aren't doing the right things to get to where you want to be. So
perfect example. My mom, my mom is a savage. All right.
Okay.
So this is what she told me. And this is when it really flipped for me.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't understand, baby. She goes, you cycle like 130 miles a week and you're still fat. And I was like, God damn it. And so I was like, wait, I'm working out, but I'm not bringing the diet and the intention to the diet. I was still eating good, but I wasn't eating amazing.
Right.
When you shift your focus and you put your full attention on something, there's no chance that you won't do better. There's no chance.
Absolutely. And then that's the thing. You can't be disciplined in one area and then not be disciplined in the other area. I feel like you have to be disciplined on all fronts, because if you go into these like good wins compounding each other, will so do bad habits and bad choices. So you might be working out, you might be doing great things, and then you go eat like shit for a few days, or you go out drinking, and then you don't work out the next 2 days because you feel like shit. And then you're like, I haven't worked out the last 2 days, so I'm just not going to work out today. And then you look back and it's been a week since you've been back in the gym. So just because you started those good habits by being healthy, and then you ruined it with a couple bad choices in a row, well, that compounded and took away all the good that
And
you know what
they say when that happens? Well, here we go again.
Yep. Yeah.
Here we go again. I broke another promise to myself. Well, guess what, guys? It's a cycle. You're in a cycle. And when you have the shitty roommate and he doesn't give a fuck about his life, and you're here, you're going to keep going down what I call the down. I truly believe, now that I'm saying it out loud, I think the downward spiral is the effect that ruins everybody, because it's a combination. It's not one bad thing. It's multiple bad things.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is to try to prevent all of those bad things from happening by just doing what you know is right. So whether you're like starting the day off with a win and making your bed, something simple as that could compound into, hey, I felt great this morning, and I walked in first thing and I closed the deal. And then you take that win and you say, man, I did so good tonight. Instead of going out drinking, I'm going to go out and shoot some hoops. I'm going to go out and go to the gym. I'm going to go treat myself to a nice steak that's not, going to be bad for me. So I think it's really about like choosing what you spend your time on and choosing how you celebrate those small victories. And I think if you just acknowledge that you're moving in the right direction, it's going to compound on itself.
Couldn't agree more. Well, dude, I really appreciate this. How can people find out about you? How can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm on all over social media. Facebook, Kyler Peters, Instagram at Kyler Peters. Don't use Twitter much, so I'm not really all over. But yeah, any way you need to reach out, go through this guy. Austin will give you my phone number, and you can call me anytime. So I'm always available and always willing to help. So I appreciate it,
my man. Well, if guys, the best thing you can do is make sure you share this with your friends. Guys, we appreciate you listening so much. So Kyler, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.